Hello.
Welcome to this episode of Metal Waifu. I'm Nick.
I'm Alexis.
And hopefully our computer doesn't explode.
Or my head. I don't know which one's going to happen first.
It's a combination of both, which then I might have to jump out that window.
Just chaos all the time.
I look like homeboy from Die Hard, just, gotta go. All that kind of stuff. As you can tell from the the clash of cultures over here.
I didn't even think about that, honestly.
100%. It is March, and Alexis decided that our fancy accoutrement for this month's going to be St. Patrick's Day themed. But you know what else is in March, as I found out? It's Leif Erikson Day.
Well,
yeah, Hinga Dinga Durgan. And you know what's appropriate for Leif Erikson Day that we should review? Hinga Dinga Durgan? It's Vinland Saga.
Hey, it's also my birthday month.
I mean, I know that too.
Rude AF.
I knew that. Yeah, 100%. I figured we were gonna do that for our next episode because that's kind of like is your whole.
Well, if you're gonna pick an episode where you say what is happening in March, you better mention my birthday.
Okay, what's your birthday? Happy birthday. I feel now I'm worried for my life even more from either exploding things or her killing me. That's why I brought the helmet.
The whole ceiling's gonna fall in.
Yeah, just
my sanity is just
and then she's
crush the whole thing.
She's gonna pummel me in the ground, and just be like, "It's my birthday!" That's why I almost pulled my.
I swear to God, if you break this setup any more than it's already broken.
Vinland Saga is an anime that we watched.
Jesus.
It's an anime that we watched on Amazon Prime for the first. Everything else we've been watching on Crunchyroll because for me it's free, and I like free. But I know plenty of people who have Amazon Prime accounts, namely my mother. Thank you, Mom.
Which, by the way, I have Amazon Prime now.
Oh, you do?
I'm at least keeping it for a little while. Well, they gave me a $2.99 7-day free trial, or 7-day free. That doesn't make sense. They gave me a 7-day trial for $2.99, and that was how I got through the anime. And then I was like, you know what? I'll leave it for a month.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just buy everything I need off of Amazon in this 1 month and then cancel it.
Well, yeah. Then you gotta wait for Prime Day because when Prime Day happens, then you're just like, oh, I gotta buy everything.
That's when I'll put my membership back up.
Oh yeah.
Prime Day? Oh, hey, put this back up.
Yeah. Bring it up real quick. I got this. This is fine. Just shopping spree. But we ended up watching Vinland Saga. It's one I've been wanting to watch for a while because a bunch of buddies recommended it to me, and it's definitely fitting for my hobbies that I'm in because that is the helmet I use for armor fighting and everything. Because I'm a nerd on many other levels.
Yeah, this is going to be a much more Nick-based episode.
Yeah, yeah, probably more or less. Like compared to last month's episode, like Yuri on Ice, hell yeah. But like this is definitely up my Alaruski. But if you want to give a brief description of what Vinland Saga is, as I've seen you have this stuff pulled up, you can go and do that real quick.
This will be probably the most amount I talk in this entire episode.
Damn, bro.
No, I'll just have like weird peanut gallery commentary. Well, but I feel like our next episode is going to be a lot of me just blabbing out the ass.
That's true.
Am I allowed to curse now? Probably not.
Nope,
it's only 4 minutes in.
I think.
Sorry.
I don't even know if the 10-minute rule is actually a real thing anymore.
I don't think it is.
No, I think it's.
We're all screwed regardless.
Yeah, I think it's fake news.
Thanks. What's her name? Susan.
Is it Susan? I forget.
I don't know. That woman. That woman with the crazy W last name.
Yeah, I think it's Susan because whenever I watch Max Mofo, it's like, "Thanks, Susan."
Yep.
It's the Australian accent.
So, I don't have my notebook today for this one because I'm keeping it cash with the phone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always have my phone out in these episodes. But anyways, so Vinland Saga. I'm just kind of taking straight off of Wikipedia, kind of Amazon also, but. Dun, dun, dun. Vinland Saga is a Japanese historical manga series written and illustrated by manga author Makoto Yukimura, which then it was, as of November 2019, the series has been compiled into 23 bound volumes. And then when they made the anime... I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know.
And then when they did the anime, it's made real good, and I watched the anime. It's pretty good. Pretty good anime I watched. I tell you what. And then me old Jimbo got to get the water jug and just, yeah, we do.
Water jug. Why was your sound so accurate to what it actually sounds like, though?
I'm a professional.
That was, yeah, I'm highly impressed.
Thank you.
Okay, anyways, I'm tired.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Anyways, okay, the title Vinland Saga would evoke associations to Vinland as described in two Norse sagas. Vinland Saga is, however, set in Dane-controlled England at the start of the 11th century and features the Danish invaders of England, commonly known as Vikings. Dun,
Yep.
dun, dun.
Yep.
The story combines a dramatization of King... I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it looks inappropriate.
Can I see it?
King... It's the king that...
It's
But it's literally... if you switch around those words... if you switch around those letters, it spells something else.
I pronounce it Canute.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Canute or whatever.
Yeah, him the Great.
Yeah, I know where you're...
But his historical rise to power with a revenge plot centered on the historical explorer Thorfinn, which I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm going to say it how the Japanese said it because I don't know any other pronunciation.
It's probably just Thorfinn. Or like Thorfinn, something like
Probably.
that. Maybe a little bit of a Thorfinn, Thorfinn,
Thorfinn.
something like that. But in the anime, whenever somebody pronounces it, they always roll that. They roll that R hard. Thorfinn.
Yeah, it's so aggressive.
Yeah, it's great though.
But he's the son of a murdered ex-warrior.
Thors.
The troll.
The trolls. Yeah. He is. Unlike his looks, though, as he is a handsome man. But
yeah, it's a 24 episode anime so far. Apparently, the 24 is only the prologue.
Yeah, so the first 24 episodes, I think, like the first 55 chapters of the anime.
Of the manga, you mean?
The manga.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
55 chapters into 24 episodes?
Yeah.
How long are these chapters?
Well, so like each of the there's 24 volumes in the books. I think it might have been a serialized anime. That might be why it is. Like it was on in like one of the books or whatever. I don't know if it's like on Jump or whatever, but yeah, the anime compiles those chapters into like the prologue, which is this series. This is a more daunting series for us because daunting. We've watched like long animes and everything, but trying to
look how long the plot is on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it is.
Jesus Christ.
It is extensive.
It really is. But it's like at the same time that it's super extensive, I didn't feel like I was getting like overwhelmed with information either.
No,
that might just be the way that they did it though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the way they presented the information, the flow of the story itself, and the way the timeline went along. But this is more daunting for us because like every other anime we've reviewed so far has been like 12 episodes, right?
Yeah.
So we've been like 12 episodes, get those in, even though like I've crammed episodes of animes in before, like the day of the podcast or whatever, like. We can manage it or whatever. This one I was like, I'm glad we planned a month ahead because like if I didn't have that month, I would have been like, I watched
And
that.
I still saved it for the last week.
Yeah,
I just finished it last night.
I finished it 2 nights ago. So
I was supposed to finish it Monday night, and then I was like, Animal Crossing.
Oh my God.
I'm a Switch owner now. Excuse me.
Yeah. Gotta go pay Tom Nook your debts over here. You debt collector head ass.
So much debt. So many loans. Why are they so expensive? Anyways.
Yeah, you won that game. He killed Tom Nook. Anywho. Pop.
Oh my God.
Anywho.
Weird.
But yeah, so 24 episodes. We're gonna try and get it done in the month. This is one of like the first episodes that we had planned out ahead of time to do. So we're like, okay, cool. We got plenty of time to watch it. So our first shot. I think this is probably the most episodes we're going to do in a single series of an anime from this point going forward. So, like, if anybody asks us, like, hey, you're going to review this anime, and it has, like, more than that, probably not.
Yeah, heck no. Because, man, I got a lot going on in life.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And if we do talk about anime series that have more episodes or anything like that, they're probably going to be episodes, like, series that are more like that we've already watched. Like we
Yeah.
already have an understanding of what happens in the series, and like maybe we'll watch like a few episodes here and there just to catch ourselves up. But
Or we're
like,
like planning to make it a series on the
yeah,
channel,
yeah,
anyways.
yeah. So from that point forward, this is like the first one we picked up. But I wanted to watch it. It was 24 episodes. Give it a run around. The story itself is, um, here's the thing I like about this show. It's kind of like the same thing I like with Promise Neverland. I think people like this series not just as an anime, but like it as a historical drama. Because that's what it reminds me a crap ton of. Like if you watched any of the stuff on like history, or the biggest comparison is Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones is a lot of that drama and that story is from those TV shows. It's just it's a fantasy series. There's dragons in it. This isn't a fantasy series. This is supposed to be grounded in historical reality to an extent.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about the story is that it does, with the style of anime that is extremity and craziness and nut battles and all that stuff, it helps that it's in this setting. Because a lot of like Norse storytelling and all that, a lot of those like tales of warriors and heroes and everything, and sagas, there's a lot of greatness associated with them, and a lot of the greatness associated with it is definitely a lot of like tall telling and yeah, all that kind of stuff and everything, like tall tales and everything. Where, you know, best example is the character Thorkrell, who is this giant,
He's
massive
wild.
man. Oh, that dude's so good.
He's wild.
That dude's an absolute shitbrick house. Actually, a better good.
No, I'm just. There's some amazing animated moments in this show, and when his hair just.
Dude, when he goes full Broly, I was like, oh my god. That dude's a ripper legend.
So good.
A more, if you're starting this anime, a more closer example is Thor's. Thor's is a character who does crazy shit and has crazy moments. But it helps to lend to the story because it does help. It does keep itself to historical accuracy in terms of the moments that happened during the 11th century, but it doesn't like try to stop itself from having like action anime moments and everything. And I didn't think it like brought the show down or feel like it was out of place. But the story itself is a decade, or like almost
It's
like 2 decades.
11. Well, it was 11 years by the end
Oh,
of the.
yeah.
Because I remember last night watching it, and he says it's been 11 years. I was like, it's been 11 years.
Yeah. No, it's extensive. It's a basically the best way to describe it is it's a vengeance tale.
Yeah.
But it's also a political intrigue mixed with action, mixed with shitty fathers, like.
A lot of those.
Okay, so
A lot of those.
So I think one of the best themes of this entire series that carries itself across is the theme of fatherhood, and the best example of fatherhood probably starting with Thor's as a character. Basically, this series starts off with this main character Thorfinn, right? And he's a child in Iceland raised by his father Thor's, his wife Helga, and Yvil, I think is his daughter. And they live in this Icelandic village. Someone.
No, I was just like, oh my god, I completely forgot what her name was.
Yeah. And they live in this Icelandic village, and one of the characters then they'll use characters from different historical points or whatever, like Canute and everything like that, is Leif Erikson, Hinga Dinga Durgan, who is telling them about Vinland, which, if you don't know what Vinland is America.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of Leif Erikson being considered the first person to find America, but he didn't call it that. They called it Vinland, and he's only stopped every once in a while.
It's this bountiful land with it's so sunny and has fertile soil and all this whatnots.
Yeah, totally not America now. But
Yeah, no.
this is America. And
Stop. Dear God.
all right.
This is Nick.
Hi, how you doing? So he talks about Vinland, and Thorfinn's told this grandiose tale about this place. And one of the first encounters that they have, which is weird when I thought about it, how kind of a Tom Bombadil's part of it is of that story, which is the them finding the lost slave.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. And that character, the I guess not the slave trader, but like the guy who was he the king's dude, or was that somebody else? I forget
He-
the dude with the chain.
Oh, like the dude that came to get him?
Yeah, was that the king of the Danes, or was that somebody, or was that Torquil's brother?
Oh, it might have been his brother.
Yeah, because he was
God,
the
that
one.
seems like so
Yeah,
long ago I watched that.
well, yeah, because
Well, actually, hold
24
on.
episodes.
Let's see if it says.
You can find. Yeah, we'll find that out. But um, they find a slave that escaped and landed and made it to Iceland or whatever. And the big establishment of Thor as a character is that he is not really the person that he was. He used to be this great fighter. And he still is a great warrior and everything, just in other aspects. And on the opening scene of the anime, there's this giant boat battle that's happening, and they're fighting the enemy and everything like that. And that part ends and leads into his family life with him fleeing from the battle, like finding like a beach, a shoreline, and then just kind of like walking forward, basically just trying to make it look like he died in battle so he can get out and like go raise a family up in Iceland. So you establish him as a character, Thor as a character of, he's not violent anymore. He doesn't fight. He doesn't do any of that stuff anymore. He's trying to lead a more pious, peaceful life because he's tired of killing. He realized what a true warrior is, and that's family and stuff like that, and just
He's such a wholesome man.
oh, he is very wholesome. He is so sweet.
I love him.
Yeah.
I was just like, the whole time I was like, I know he's gonna die, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just not ready to accept it.
Riddled with arrows.
My God.
Riddled.
Like, the whole time I was like, I know he's gonna die. I was like, I know he's gonna die. But the way he died, I was like, dude,
They
that
hit you.
wasn't the way that I was expecting, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah, but that's a funny part because it's a very anime thing where like a protagonist of immense power and strength takes a bunch of hits that should just kill him instantly, and he just stands there. He's just like,
The most, yeah.
"Hey, just letting you know," and you're just like, "You should be on the ground right now,
Yeah,
my
he's
dude."
like, take my body to here and do this and do that. He's got a
Straight-
whole monologue and tells everybody what needs to be done, talks to his son, like,
yeah. Which what leads up to that point is that obviously because he fled battle and
Loki.
Floki, man, fuck that guy. That dude kiss my ass. Wholesale. Floki hires out this gentleman by the name of Askeladd. Askeladd. To go lead Thor's, lay a trap for Thor's, so that it looks like he was, it looked like he was killed by, it wasn't killed by the Vikings or anything like that. He was killed by a different group or something along those lines or whatever. Yeah. Just to make it look like it was covered up because he wants him dead because he fled battle because he was a coward. To which there might have been more personal reasonings for it. There might have been more, angry, like more anger. Like it didn't seem like that it may have necessarily been a actual like hunt for Thors. It was more just Floki being like, I know where you are now. Go fuck yourself. Like just
Well, but that's the whole point is like he left without the leader's permission.
Well,
so
yeah.
that's supposed to result in death, and he's been on the run for 15 years,
right.
technically.
But I think it was alluded to that people at a certain point didn't necessarily care. Like the people at a certain point were just kind of like got over it, except for I think him, because I think they might have ended up losing that battle.
Oh, true, maybe.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but I don't know because the whole thing is like Helga is the leader or the king. Was it the king? She's the daughter.
The daughter of the Jarl or something like that. So,
Yeah, because her and how do you pronounce his name? Thorquil.
Thorquil?
Yeah, him. Like they're siblings.
Right,
and
but
then-
Thorquil never told him. I don't know.
So I don't know. Maybe. I feel like it could go either way.
Yeah, it might be explained at a later point, but he hires this dude by the name of Askeladd to take his band of Viking pirates, basically, to go hunt out Thors and kill him. Which there's this whole engagement between him and just this really dope. What would it be considered? Like, it's not a valley. It's like it's where it's a river, like a river where like there's two cliff edges facing down.
Yeah, like a cavern. No,
a chasm. Not even that.
yeah, you know when you see like two mountains and there's like a river down it and you can go down it. That thing. That's what we're talking about.
Not delta. That's way different. Yeah.
I've never heard that being used for land.
A delta.
Yeah.
A delta, I think it's a like if a land is at a point and there's like rivers going across and everything like that. That the top that is considered a delta. Yeah.
I learned something new today.
Yeah. It was the only thing I was good at school was map taking. Anywho, I believe I could be completely wrong. Somebody in the comments would be like, "You're such an idiot." I'm like, I know, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But there's this whole battle that happens, and like they go try and face off Thor's, and he's just whooping wholesale ass. Nobody's business. Just hands, not even using
no
a
deadly
sword.
force.
Yeah. And then he demands him and Askeladd to have a proper duel. The winner gets to leave and everything like that, or if Askeladd wins, he kills him. To which ultimately leads to Thor's winning, but because Askeladd, as you're introducing him as a character, is a scumbag piece of shit, fucks him over, and they end up just killing him anyway.
Yeah, the mercenaries up at the top of these big mountain or cliffs, and they all shoot arrows at him.
Just hail him with arrows. But like we said, he just stands there. He's just like, "Hey, Eric, could you just retake my body?" And they're just like, is he gonna go down yet? Like, is he? And at this time too, Thorfinn goes up to him. He's like crying, like losing his mind. He's just seeing his dad, dude. And so like that all happens in like the span of like 4 episodes. So that arc is kind of like the beginning of Thorfinn going off away from like his family and everything, and kind of turning
off his rocker,
off his fucking.
Because he decides to stay with Askeladd.
They take the boat that they took from them, the other boat they took from them. He decided to stow away in it. He comes out and he is yelling at them, screaming, crying, like just hateful.
Which wasn't he supposed to be like 8 or something at this
7
time?
or
7?
8.
Like,
7 or 8.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
trauma.
Yeah, 100%.
Childhood trauma.
Well, and like the whole angle with his character is that his dad tried to make the point to him as he's like dying or whatever, that like he after the fight, Thor didn't kill anyone. Like he whooped everyone's ass.
They made that point so casually, but it was like so powerful. After he died, it was Askeladd was like, they were kind of looking and seeing like what the damage was, and he just makes the comment of like he just knocked all of them out.
Yeah.
He didn't kill anybody.
He didn't kill nobody.
Like,
he's just that fucking good. But I think the whole point is just that like you can be a warrior without taking a life, and that was this kind of thing. Thor was just tired of taking lives. Like he was just tired of doing that shit. Thorfinn didn't catch any of that, and it's just fueled by the utter fucking hatred of this fucking dude Askeladd. And so the show kind of shifts. Like you're with Thorfinn still, and you're watching him kind of grow. And I think like it's between like up to like episode 6 or 7 where you see him kind of become like almost, I think he's like almost 18 at that point, of him training with Askeladd, him demanding constantly to Askeladd for a duel, because initially he tries to kill him in his sleep, but he doesn't have what it takes to kill him.
He tried to kill him when he was like 8. Like when he was that young, he tried to do it for the first time.
Great sword and all. But instead they kind of leave him out and about, just kind of like if he dies, he dies. It doesn't really matter to us because they're out, raping and pillaging, and they want you to know that they're doing that. It's
rough.
Aggressive. It is aggressive. This show doesn't stray away from that shit. I mean, it doesn't. It's not like Berserk. You don't like show anything, but like it's heavily insinuated. Like,
well, and like I mentioned to you at work, like a big part of this entire anime is every single voice actor that works on this show is absolutely incredible. Like even just the village people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I'm not a huge gore doesn't really bother me necessarily. It is the emotional fueled begging and pleading and crying and screaming that is like so viscerally real that I'm like, oh God, this is a lot.
Yeah, they do a really good job of setting. That's the one thing about the show that I think if you're going to go into it, don't expect it to be a heavily action-filled anime. Like there's some good action sequences, and when they happen, it's cool and it's fun. But it's like I said, it's a historical drama. Like it's you're going along with these characters either for better or for worse. Because so like after this like period where like Thorfinn is demanding a duel with him, he duels him, gets his ass beat, but he stays with this crew because he wants to get, one, stronger, but two, get strong enough to where he can demand another duel from Askeladd.
And he doesn't want anybody else to kill him, so that's
No.
like he's like tagging along in case somebody wants to try and kill Askeladd. He's like, nah, I'm gonna kill you because that man's man.
He's my bait.
Yeah, he's mine.
He's my bait.
That's mine.
That's my bait.
I call dibs.
I called it dibs. Yoink. But then after his character's kind of like, when we get to the point where we know him at that point where he's just an anger-filled, dagger-wielding son of a bitch, the story kind of shifts to go into the full, like what you said with the deal with the Danes and the English, where it's dealing with it kind of almost becomes a game of like Total War. Where it's basically the diplomacy, the battles, the political intrigue, more raping and pillaging. It's a whole. It becomes a whole other story, to which then you start to see other characters kind of come into the fold, and it no longer just becomes Thorfinn's story. It becomes more of an ensemble kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because then you
actually, for a little while, he kind of gets like pushed to the background.
Yeah, for a long time. And I noticed that kind of like watching, like towards the end of the series, I was like, damn, they haven't really, he's been doing some stuff, but he's just kind of like, we've been focused on other characters and everything. And one of those, and like the story kind of almost shifts to Askeladd for quite some time, because then you start kind of figuring out some of his story details and kind of figuring out who he is as a character. And here's the thing about him. I like him not because he's a good person, because in no way, shape, or form is he a good person. Does he have his reasonings for the things he does and all that kind of stuff? Sure.
And he definitely had some interesting ones towards the end.
Right. But what makes him interesting is that he is a complicated character.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of intricacies to him to where you understand why he's doing these things. There's a lot of stuff's wrong, but you have an understanding to why he does the things that he wants, that he seeks his means to an end, his goals. And as the series goes along, like I was more like, okay, I'm okay with this character. I understand, because for a good chunk of it, I was just like, when's Thorfinn just gonna kill this fucking guy?
Same.
Like, when is he just gonna put a dagger to his fucking throat? But it ends up being that you're happy, you're glad for the sake of the story that he stuck along all the way through the season, because you appreciate the character building that the writer put into it.
Yeah. Because wow, is it a story?
Yeah, 100%.
You watch that man get triggered at the end of the series.
My God.
You ever want to see a grown man get triggered?
Yeah. I know there's no point in it. Spoilers, probably. You're going to go into some stuff and everything like that, just in case we do. His character is basically just an angry Welsh Danesman. His mother was Welsh, his father was Dane, but his mother was the slave, and his father was the slave owner. And basically his entire life has just been, one, he's a massive narcissist.
Yes.
Especially when your mom names you basically King Arthur. Like,
true. That's very true.
Yeah.
I know that moment. You want to know my real name? And I was like,
I'm
oh,
like, oh, of course he is. Lucius Autors. I'm like, of course you are. Of course you are, bud. That's the best thing about his character arc, is that everything crescendos into his final moments perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Perfectly. Like everything you understood about the character going into it and what they build up to, as soon as he hit that note, you're just like, oh, okay, this is who he is. This is who the guy is. And he's a man of his own people, but his own people is not the Danes. He hates the Danes because his father was a slave piece of shit, and he kills him. And he has a different path than what Thorfinn has. Thorfinn has. In terms of his youth, because Thorfinn had the possibility of killing Askeladd, but he didn't do it because he still has some goodness in him. Askeladd just didn't give a flying fuck.
That man was naked in bed with another woman.
Yeah, even
murdered.
The murdered, and the woman. Like she's like what? I was just getting lit. Ah.
And he was smart. Well, no, like that whole process. He spent 2 years being like this cute child, like, getting the respect of his father and getting the respect of everybody around his father. And then everybody was like, yeah, this is his son. And like, he did that for 2 solid years. And then he had the brain to go steal somebody else's sword that didn't get along with his father and use that to kill him. And I was like,
yeah, it is.
These children are big brain.
They're vengeance filled and
Vengeance filled big brain.
Vengeance filled big brain.
I had a stroke there for a second.
No, they're the opposite of the kids from Promised Neverland, where they're just developed. They're just big brain because they're developed that way. They're big brain because they're filled with vengeance.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's all that there is.
I mean, that's mostly just like that's a time period in general. You killed my father, so I have to kill you. You killed my father, now I have to kill you. Hold up, kill your dad. But that brings back to fatherhood and what not to do as a fucking dad, because you have Askeladd's father, who was a slave owner, and he basically was just getting with his slave who. She was ill, and he basically was like tossed her to the side, and that fucked everything up. You have Thor's and Thorfinn, where Thor's tried to be a good father, but ultimately he still succeeded in some sense. It's just that Thorfinn's just not about it right now because he's just a hormone-filled, vengeance-filled child, teenager. Yeah. And then the other one that establishes that is Knut.
Oh my god, this man!
Holy shit!
This whole storyline. I'm like,
so this is also another point where I didn't know what was happening and everything. Sure, what was gonna necessarily happen with him, but his character, him and his father do not get along whatsoever. And basically the person that is basically a surrogate father is Ragnar, who's his like basically his assistant kind of in terms of who he is, how they kind of angle it. But Ragnar basically is like his mouthpiece. Like he tries to talk for him and understand it, but throughout the series, because of the situations they get into, Knut's constantly being forced into places where he should be trying to be a leader, try to be like a prince, and try to like talk to people and everything like that. But he's mono introverted. Like he will tuck behind Ragnar's shoulder to try and like hide from people and everything. He is not a leader at that point.
I just want to know how they're related, because he's blonde, blue-eyed, and that king is disgusting.
Because they take a while. Yes.
I mean,
if you look at Helga's wife, look at Thor's and Helga, just Scandinavian blonde women, they're just kind of like.
I know.
There's a few times in that show I'm just like, is that the same? Hold up.
And I know, right? They all look like one woman's children. I'm like,
it's just like I feel, might be an artist note there next time, guys. You want to like change it up a little bit, but you're saying.
I remember the prince mentioning, because he said he had a brother that was who the
Harald. Yeah.
Does he ever? He never appeared in the show, right?
He showed up, I think, in like one of the sometimes during the show they'll do like explanations of what's going on historically, and they'll mention. I think they mentioned Harald, and I think there might have been like a silhouette of him, but I'm not necessarily sure. I haven't
seen him yet.
Yeah. But because the king of the Danes views him as weak. Hold on. Losing my voice over here. There we go. All right. I don't have COVID.
Thanks for clarifying.
Thanks, you're welcome. Because the king of the Danes views him as weak, he basically is sending him off to deal with England, like trying to take over England as a way of getting rid of him. Not assassinating him, just hoping that he at some point will just die in battle, because when they go into England, Askeladd is hired on by the Danes to assist in the battle. But one of the biggest problems is that there is another character who is our favorite character and is a massive Chad, but I fucking love him every goddamn. He is Viking Chad incarnate.
He really is.
He is Viking Chad incarnate, and that's Thorkill, or Thorkrow, who's this monstrous, spiky blonde-haired, bandana wearing, massive beard.
You also find out he's 50.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you survive to that?
In my 50 years of life, he is a monstrosity of a man, but he is boisterous, happy. His goal in life is to just fight all the fucking time. That is his hopes, his dreams, his aspirations, and when he gets to fight, ooh Howie, does he love it.
He really does. He like loves it too much.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's a little bit like you're just going like, sir, do you need to find like a private space real quick? You need to go take care of that? Oh no, you want to fight? Okay, all right, well go nuts for donuts.
He's 7'7". He's known as Torkel the Tall.
Torkel the Tall, yeah. No shit. But he 7'7". It's lucky numbers. So he ends up joining the English. I forget why he joins the English to fight for them and everything like that. I think it was just because like England was having like a losing battle or whatever, and he was just like, well, that's unfair. I guess I'll just join the English or whatever. But I think he might have also had like an issue with King Surin. I think it was what his name was, the king of the Danes. So like he was just like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna join the English and bring my men and we'll fight for them. So at the Battle of London Bridge, he is wholesale beaten ass, just mollywhopping everybody, and basically like everyone kind of knows going into it, it's kind of taking an L. So I think the hope was that Canute was going to be involved in some of that and just end up getting killed off. But it's great because at a certain point, Askeladd and them try to like go on the bridge, and like it's a bit of a toss. But Thorfinn comes up, and I'm gonna do that every fucking time. Thorfinn comes up, and he gives him like a solid battle, and Thorkel is just like, he asks for his name. He's like, Thorfinn, son of Thor. He's like, Thor's. He's like, oh shit, I know Thor's? Let me tell you. They don't get to talk too much during the battle or whatever, but at that point, the show is Thorkel's guys chasing after Askeladd to grab the prince and everything, and it's like a whole chase through and all that. But I was a little worried like how Canute was gonna kind of go, but then he had a, now that you're a man, a man, he becomes a full boy.
You gotta say what triggered that.
Man. Because Askeladd kills Ragnar, like a piece of shit he is.
From the back, has him stabbed from the back
with a spear. Like they have like homeboys and like wood planks, just like, oh, surprise. And it's like, no, he was hiding in the snow the entire time. to which then he tells Askeladd that, hey, by the way, the king's trying to kill his son, so like it's on you now. So sucks to suck, nerd. And he's just like, damn it, why did you tell me that earlier?
Everybody has an impeccable ability to talk a lot as they're dying.
Oh yeah, dude,
a lot.
Massive blood loss, massive like major organ trauma or whatever. Nah, I'll get like a monologue in real quick.
You didn't even bring up a homeboy, Askeladd's. What is his name? Bjorn, yeah.
Yeah, Bjorn's weird though throughout the series. Cause like Bjorn's like,
very odd.
Well, yeah. So like in the first four, like in that first big fight at the thing, you know, the river chasm, whatever. He ends up like having a big fight scene. He eats like rage mushrooms or whatever, which I don't really think that.
Yeah, the mushroom thing is interesting.
Yeah.
Because like everybody is so shocked about it too. They're like, mushrooms?
Mushrooms?
Like, are we all hallucinating now?
I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird.
Tripping.
Yeah, we tripped. Yeah, we tripped.
Yeah, and his eyes like turn completely white when he goes rage mode.
It was that was the point in the series at one point where I was just like, are we trying to be historical or is this going to go in weird places? That's like the only thing. But Bjorn's a weird character because he's basically like Askeladd's right-hand man throughout the series. He has like some moments, but it's not like too much character building until like towards like the end. Because
what a death scene.
Oh my god. So like Askeladd Askeladd's taking some L's towards the end of the chase from Thorkel and everything like that. At one point, they cut through Wales to try and make it through, which is like the first part of where you're starting to realize that Askeladd's not actually Welsh. He also just hates. You find out he hates the Danes and all that stuff through that chase through. To which then, during a final battle between Thorkel and Askeladd and everything, basically all of his boys just turn on him. They're like, listen, we just give him the prince, and then Thorkrell will just leave us alone. It's fine. Bad news, he doesn't, and just kills the entire rest of the crew.
Yup,
They are all
lost everyone.
Dude, they were trying to be like slick as fuck. They're trying to be slick as fuck.
No, keep going.
Okay. They're trying to be slick as fuck and be like, oh yeah, no, we'll just give it to him. He's fine and we'll be good and everything. And Thorkrell's like, nah, y'all go into Valhalla, pick up your fucking weapons. And they're just like, oh no. That Thorgrim guy. Fucking sorry, shit. Thorgrim and his brother.
Yeah, are you talking about the traumatized brother? Yeah, this poor thing. Like, he all of a sudden is now like 7 years old, and because he's so traumatized by what happened.
Yeah, he just yeah, he basically becomes dumb. He becomes dumb by like Thorkrell like trying to kill him.
One that survived.
Yeah. He's just like Thorkrell comes up to him, just like, oh, I broke him.
Yeah, and then his brother finds him, and he's just like, "Who are you?
Who are you?"
He's just completely.
He's just like.
Then he starts throwing snowballs.
Yeah, but during that whole thing, Bjorn like goes into like chases with the prince and everything like that, or whatever, and like he takes the mushrooms again. There's a whole fight. That's when Knut has this talk with the one priest character who's a major alcoholic throughout the whole fucking thing. I would be too if I'm dealing with all that shit. When he shaves,
You're 23.
you're 23.
I was
like, dude, if I was right with
like,
those,
shook. Absolutely shook.
Dude, he 100%. Like when he shows up like shaving, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a priest character, and they're just like, oh, and I'm like 23. Holy I mean, granted, yeah, you're in that time period. You probably age pretty quick too if you're dealing with these assholes.
Well, that's why I was so shocked that Thorkel, him being 50. I was like, how did people live to 50 back then?
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
A rare one.
Sometimes they don't make it past 30.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
yeah.
And that's just like naturally. Like the age expectancy was not that high back then.
No.
In the 11th century? Jesus.
Jesus. GG, bro.
That's why they're all having kids at like
the amount of times Thorfinn broke his goddamn arm.
Oh, I know.
And they're like, oh, put splints on it, it'll be fine. I'm like, you don't have what? You don't have the technology to heal that kind of arm like that? That arm is fucked.
Well, it was just like anybody who took damage. They were like, nah, I'm fine tomorrow. I'm like,
yeah.
You just had a knife stuck in you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. GG, bro. It's the folk tale, tall tale thing of the story, but at a certain point, it does get a little like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing of they were incredible leaders and they were incredible beasts and they could handle everything. I'm like, Jesus, all right.
Well, Askeladd taking all those fucking arrows to the leg and all that shit and everything, and he's just like, I got a little bit of limp, it's fine. You should be dead. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Took an arrow to the knee times 3.
Yeah, yeah, and doesn't get. He's just like, nah, I keep adventuring. What? That's how this fucking works there, bud.
Meanwhile, Bjorn is finally dying.
Yeah. Well, Bjorn. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Because Bjorn took a stab from Thorgrim's brother, and his dying wish, I guess, was to duel Askeladd. And to which I guess he found out that Askeladd hated all of them and hated the Danes, and he was just like, during their whole fucking fight, like Askeladd gets like the killing, like the killing blow, and he like misses like a major organ.
Oh,
so like he just starts
I'm
bleeding.
sorry, I missed the vital, and I was like,
vital, and he's like, oh no, I just wanted you to be my friend. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was so oddly emotional. He was like, I'm sorry, I missed the vital. I'll put you at ease now, and you're just like,
Bjorn's like, I just wanted to be your friend. That's all I wanted. And he's like, out of everyone in the world,
you were my only
I would consider you my only friend. I'm like, Jesus fucking.
And then when they get done with that, by the way, I laughed a little too much at when he went. He went and just picked up Bjorn's body. That man's a freaking tank, but he just picked him up. Yeah. He was like, man, you've gone rigid already. And I'm like,
gone stiff. You've gone stiff already.
Sir.
Yeah.
You're in the snow, but also what? Why is that comment happening?
Yeah, why'd you kill your boy? And you're just like, oh yeah, he's just rigid. It's fine. Stiff. Little, stiffy,
Yeah.
But like we said, as we're kind of like going from like plot point to plot point for character angle to character angle, it's a complicated show.
Yeah.
But it's done so seamlessly and so clean that it doesn't seem like you're being forced shit down your throat or whatever. So throughout it it's a good ride. But this is the first show, and I'm gonna say this. So Promise Neverland, right? I'm probably gonna wait till we get a clean, like a normal, like streamed version of it, like from Crunchyroll.
I'm not watching season 2 and some sketchy shit.
We had a buddy of ours, we love you, bud, who gave us like the links to this website. He's like, "Oh, just make sure you have ad blocker up and like a few other things. Just make sure." I'm like, I'll wait for it to go on Crunchyroll. It's fine, my dude. No. It's fine. This is fine. But Promise Neverland has the manga's all out. Like you can read it and everything. The way this fucking series ends, I'm like, I need to either.
Wait, what? Promise Neverland or
no?
Oh,
Vinland Saga. This is the first time where I might just read the manga.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, where's this going?
Yeah, this might be the first series where I just go sit down and say fuck it because I need this series ends on a fucking.
Yeah, I had to be careful how much I scrolled because then I noticed that it was saying things that weren't in the anime. I was like, whoa!
Yeah. No. So the series ends. The series ending is a fucking cock tease, and I'm so mad about it.
How do you know already?
What? No. I'm sorry. Series. The season ending.
I was like, I'm very confused.
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. The season ending.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the season end. I was literally, I got done and I went, excuse me?
Dude.
Like, I was sitting there doing my makeup and I just went, I rewound like the end of the episode. I was like, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, Askeladd kills the king.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even fully talked about, like, the prince's, like, full story.
Well, yeah. So his whole thing is that basically, because of the death of Ragnar, one, he doesn't have the crutch of his mentor, but he resolves that on his own, like through a dream or an emotional moment like that, and then basically just renounces God.
Yeah.
There's heavy religious themes in this series where it also deals with.
They don't like Christians and stuff, and
the pagans didn't like the Christians showing up because
I
he turned
know.
them invaders.
Well, yeah,
and
I
then,
know,
and then
but-
the Christians didn't like the pagans because he turned a monstrous beast. But Knut's reasoning he doesn't like completely reject Christianity. He just rejects the idea that God's basically going to be his salvation.
Yeah.
Basically, he's like, no.
I'm gonna make this.
Yeah. He basically he stops relying on. He does the thing that he needs to do and needs to rely on himself. He's the one. He knows that he can use his power to project what he wants and what he thinks is right, which is, I mean, he has like the right idea for it. He wants to make his own paradise, which I think is going to go into the whole idea of it being the Vinland Saga, is them just trying, like, them going out into that area or whatever. I think, I'm not too sure. Again, I remember the manga. But his arc basically boils down to that, where he through his loss, through the acceptance of, I have to do this, I need to stop relying on religion as the crutch of like sorrow and feeling miserable and martyrdom and all that shit. He's like, I'm gonna fucking do this, let's fucking go. And he basically like starts ordering people around. He starts getting followers. He gets Thorkrell to be like, hey, calm the fuck down. He has a duel with Thorfinn and it gets fucked over because him and Thorfinn and Askeladd have like a kind of pull a trick on him a little bit, just get him at the right angle to where they can aim the sun in his eyes and then like blind him a little bit so that he can get a kick in his head because his weakness is his head.
Oh yeah. I know, yeah, because he wears chainmail, so you can't go for the body.
Yeah, he has no body shots. You just go for headshots.
His weakness is kicks.
Yeah, his weakness is fucking head. He never wears a goddamn helmet.
Well, and that's what Tor's did to him too, which is the funny part.
Oh yeah,
He punched him in the face.
But they're gonna kill Thorfinn. Thorkrell's guys are gonna kill Thorfinn because they're like, "Don't kill our leader." And he's like, "What are you doing? You can't just go in the middle of a fucking duel." And it's just like, "We're just about to kill you." He's like, "Well, I guess I fucking lost." And like Knut has like separate everything out, and Thorkrell respects him enough to one stand up to him, like about to get punched in the face, and he's like, "I've seen guys talk like that before. As soon as you get punched in the face, they just break down immediately and goes for the swing, and he stops right in front of him." He's like,
and the dude didn't even blink.
Knut's just like, everything, all my friends are dead. Push me to the edge.
That man really like 180'd himself because he was such like this delicate little flower and like everybody thought he was a woman because of the way that he was acting, and now he's just like
had the decoy.
Oh my god. One initially had me shook. I was like,
I thought
I thought Askeladd was just like, yeah, I paid for somebody to hitman you right now.
Which he kind of technically did, but like,
But they used a slave instead of
woman.
a slave woman.
They like open up his shirt, so like they're like, "Oh, take care." Only Canute and Askeladd know, so they're like the rest of the crew's like, "Oh, we got should even get the air out, see if we can, like, you know, try and help him and everything." Like open up shirts, like, "It's a woman, we do it all along." And Canute comes out of the boat like, "I'm not a woman," and it was like comes out and shit. I'm just like.
And this poor girl was stabbed like directly in the center of her body.
Oh yeah,
like,
she's GG done. It felt awful. That was miserable.
which actually I don't know why this popped in my brain. Or when did
I think it was 2016. Trouble the manga.
No, because nobody knew what a crossbow was, and so I'm really curious as to when the crossbows were invented.
Yeah, no. I'm
really curious.
Yeah,
now.
no, I forget.
The earliest known crossbows were invented in the first millennium BC, not later than the 7th century BC in ancient China, not later than the 4th century BC in Greece.
Yeah.
Damn, okay, they've been around for a while, but they didn't really make it.
No.
It says they were first used in England at the Battle of Hastings in 1066.
Yeah.
And by the 12th century became a common battlefield weapon. Interesting.
Yeah. Because oddly enough, that area of Europe and everything that was pretty like somewhat primitive until a little bit later. They borrowed a lot of things from other people, like the Italians. They didn't make pasta. They just took it, from Asia. Just like, hey, look, this is stuff and things, and we can make this a little long and stringy and put some Parmesan on it,
Freaking China.
Yeah.
Well, China was the first with their crossbow.
Well,
so
yeah,
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. It's, you know how it'd be. You know how
China just be out here making everything, literally.
Yeah.
All of history.
Yeah.
They made history.
Yeah, they sure did. And
that's awful. Oh, God.
This is my pasta. Our pasta.
They just look at him, put his hand on your shoulder. Our pasta.
Our pasta. God, we're terrible. But yeah, so Askeladd back to this fucking season finale. Basically, I'll just boil it down to Askeladd gets like watch the series so you understand my feelings for this, because the entire series you're like, Thorfinn needs to get this fight against Askeladd. Thorfinn needs to get this fight against Askeladd. But the entire time I'm watching the series, I'm also in the back of my head just being like, this show's gonna be cruel to this fucking kid, because so far the show's been very cruel to a lot of goddamn people.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
And I'm just like, he's not gonna get the duel with him. If he doesn't do that, he's just gonna break, because his entire existence so far has been just this one fucking duel. Yep. And guess what the fucking show decided to do?
Oh my God,
Guess what the fucking
this
show
whole sequence, like that whole last few episodes, I was like, there's so much going on.
Oh yeah. The king, like that last episode, was like the king's threatening to invade the Welsh because fuck them. That's why. Not even for I forget what the reasoning was for him attacking the Welsh. It wasn't for the fact that Askeladd, he knew Askeladd was no, he did.
Well, he was also giving it to the prince.
Well, yeah, but
because he did his research on Askeladd.
Yeah, at the end, I did my research.
He was trying to use it to like break Askeladd.
It's fucking deep, big brain total war shit over here, just being like, I did my research. I found out about you. You're Welsh.
Yeah, and then when he comes up to him and he says, you either give me the prince's head or I invade Wales, and he was like,
how about nah, bruh? How about neither?
Slice you, bitch.
Yeah, how about none of that shit? He's at sword's length. I'll fucking do it. And
he's one of the most incredible swordsmen I've ever seen, by the way, because like these people literally, like all of these people, it was Thorquil that sliced the dude in half, right?
Oh no.
Or was that Askeladd?
Yeah. Helmet down?
Yes, Askeladd is okay, so I was like, I couldn't remember if it was all him, but yeah, this man with the sword, what the hell?
Yeah, he's very good.
His abilities are scary.
Again, like extreme, like folktale, like, oh, I seen him cut a dude in half from the helmet and everything.
Yeah.
Like
there's the problem with all the historical stuff is a lot of it comes from stories.
Especially in Viking Norse shit. Is that it's all tall tale stuff, like Ingvar the Boneless, all those guys, like just it's all built around that kind of stuff because it's about the greatness and the tales and all that shit. But yeah, so like Askeladd just fucking cuts the king's head off, just like fuck you. Starts fighting a bunch of dudes in the like this assembly of like the Danes and everything, and ultimately during the fight, Thorfinn's trying to get in. He's like, stop, don't kill him. I'm trying to, he's trying to get in to try and get his final duel with him because if fucking anyone kills him, then basically his just whole world's done. The one thing that he wanted out of life will just be taken away from him. Yep. And guess who fucking takes it? Fucking Canute.
Out of all people, that freaking prince.
He had to make face. He had to make fucking face.
Also, Askeladd killed like everybody in the room.
Yeah, basically. He was about to kill Floki, which I was like low key, like please.
I know, right?
Do it.
Like, let's go.
Yeah, but he fucking Canute ends up fucking getting the sword stab into him, which Askeladd's like, yeah, that was a good stab.
Yeah, it got real dramatic. He was like, "This is the first time you've ever stabbed somebody, isn't it, Prince?" He was like, "Good work," and then just like, blood.
Yeah, yeah. That was the first time you stabbed anybody, right? You hit good and the vitals pulls out. Oh God!
It was so dramatic.
He was just like, "Oh shit! Oh, it hurts." Oh, I made a bad.
Oh no, I'm bleeding.
Oh no, he starts ragdolling like GTA 5. Like,
clips through the floor.
He clips the world just.
There's like one little bit of water on the floor and he slips and just shoots himself out.
You see Thorfinn clipping through the road trying to chase after him. I'm gonna get it.
People call those? You call them like cracked versions of stuff. I need somebody to make that.
You mean like jailbroken version of it, or like?
Well, I've heard. Well, I know a lot of people do it with like voice actor stuff when they get like deleted scenes of a voice actor. They call it like the cracked version. But like, I would just need somebody to make like ragdoll situation in that anime. Please.
Somebody just needs to go to GTA 5, make 3D models of fucking Askeladd and Thorfinn just. Ragdolling anywhere. But like basically Askeladd just like Thorfinn sees this and he's fucking freaking out because he's just like, oh, what no, you still owe me a fight, and Askeladd's basically just like telling him like what just stab me, like
no, the whole time he was like, you're running out of time, boy.
Yeah, come on, just do
hello.
it. Just do it. Just like, this isn't what I was supposed to kill you. It's just like this dude's just been denied satisfaction, and as soon as he dies he's just fucking broken. You see, he's screaming like he was screaming when he was a little kid on that boat, just angry, filled with rage. It's just you're just like, man, where is this gonna go? He needs
a hug.
He needs some love, man.
He needs to go home to his mom.
He found his boy Leif Erikson. He's like, hey, we can go back home. We can go back home and like see your family and everything, and then we can go to Vinland. We can go to Vinland Saga. We just do all that stuff and everything. Nah, vengeance, son. That's all I fucking want.
That's like a thing that we forgot to mention too. Is like. He literally dedicated his life, and he told Thorfinn's. He told Helga and his sister that on his life he was going to bring him home, and he finally finds him, and he cannot convince this kid.
No, the kid is just. I need to know what the fuck happens, man. You can't just leave me on fucking him screaming and yelling.
It's in the Wikipedia page.
No. Get that.
Ooh, sorry, I just found an interesting article. This is 10 things that makes Askeladd the perfect anti-hero.
Yeah, killing an entire village because we can't. It'd be merciful for them.
Oh my god. Yeah. So you got to that part that I was talking about when he was like cutting the dude's fingers off?
Yeah.
That voice actor. That was like one of those times when I was like, this is a lot. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff going on. And then he just starts laughing. He's like, I thought I was going to kill you all. And it's like, oh, yeah, no, that's scary. Fuck that. Yeah, it's oh my god. Oh, and there's the fucking... I almost forgot to mention about the whole arc with that one village where it starts off with the daughter who like is like pleading with God because she took a ring. So this one episode starts off where she this one girl's talking about, which also is weird because like they cut to her hands and her hands are fucked up.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're really bad. I don't know what the whole point of that squirrel.
I'll have to tell you a story later about the crows yesterday.
Oh my God. So she steals this ring from like a market or whatever, and she's just like admiring it. She has it stowed away in this little tree or whatever, but she's like upset because she's like, I stole, and that's a sin to God, and I'm just, she's like, but it's so pretty, and she's having this like internal struggle because she's worried about going to hell.
Yeah, because like their whole belief is that you can only do good things.
Well, yeah, they're hardcore on the Christianity belief stuff. So they're like, oh yeah, no, if you sin, you're going straight to. Oh, they're talking. The family's talking over dinner, and it's like these parents and their kids, and they're basically trying to tell them like, hey, like they're telling them aggressive tales of like hell and the devil and all that shit to scare the kids,
them, yeah.
not doing bad stuff. To which the girl's already stolen a ring. Like, she's like freaking out about that, and she's worried about it. And then Askeladd and his homeboy showed up. She fled into the forest because she was already outside with the ring, and she flees away from them. And then she gets to watch her entire family and her entire village fucking die in front of her.
And then that's it.
And that's it. No, she has like a plea with God in this beautifully done moonshot, like this beautiful, like almost like painting and everything like that. And she has like a plea with God where she's just like emotional and all that shit. And I'm just like, bitch, you just stole a ring. Like, who cares about the ring? Your family's dead.
Don't know. And then that's it. You never like. There's no.
She's mentioned because she shows up in the village where Thorkrell's at, and that's how they found out where they were.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Because they find her, they see her, and you see her like because I thought she died too. I thought she's just like succumbed to the cold.
Yeah.
But she shows up to the tavern they're at, because the tavern they're all at is in England, and the English are having to deal with all these Vikings who are just going through their beer.
They ordered another keg.
Yeah, they ordered another. Thorfann's like, can I get another keg? And they're just like, they ordered another one.
They're just like, no.
Oh my God. This show has it's like,
which we didn't even mention, like when we were talking about the alcoholic priest, like the way that they find out that was him is they were doing a drinking, like,
he's on,
and they were
57th
57th or
57.
Yeah, I think it was cup 57. It was 50 something.
Yeah, they're like, this dude just
51
keeps
or
drinking.
50.
We don't know what the hell this guy is, and they're looking at him like, huh?
It's the priest.
It's the priest.
Like, how old are you? 23.
Yeah.
What?
That priest is weird too, because that character is like, he's having like his struggle where he's basically like having a conflict of faith, but he's also like an insane alcoholic. Because at one point, like, we hadn't drunk for like a few days, so he starts screaming to the sky for like God's forgiveness and shit. We're just like, what? And then he give him some booze, and he's back to normal. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, this poor man needs help.
Everyone in this show needs goddamn help.
Yeah,
There's no therapists in
11th century.
11th century England / Norway / Iceland / everywhere. Yeah. Everyone's got schizophrenia.
I know. It was like everybody just uses force and physical action, and that's all we got.
Yep, basically. That's all we got. That's all we have.
You have feelings? Well, suck it up. You're a man. Go kill somebody.
Yeah, suck it up, kill a man, go drink. Yeehaw, ya yeet.
Maybe get a bitch pregnant. We don't know.
Maybe. Or 2, or 7.
You don't have to claim them later. It's fine.
Yeah, there's some child support here.
That just reminded me of a part in the freaking the Coming to America sequel trailer that popped up. It was like, you avoided child support for 30 years and you came back.
Oh God. Yeah. You don't have to pay child support here. You might have to worry about like the ancient diseases that we won't have any like medicine for until like the 20th century, but whatever. You don't have to pay for child support.
Jesus. What a mess.
Christ almighty.
That's a wild series. It's just...
You know what else is a mess? This podcast.
Always.
Always.
Everything's a mess.
How far along are we in this?
An hour and 4 minutes.
Hour and 4? Okay. All right. That's yeah. I think that's about as much as we can muster out of this series, because there's still a lot. I'm sure there's things we've missed. I'm sure there's things that we, like necessarily haven't covered that we wanted to cover, but I think the general consensus is that we recommend it.
Yeah.
It's
and I'm not even really into this like, this is all Nick. I was kind of like, I don't know, I'm probably going to struggle getting through this. But no, actually, the flow of it is really, really nice
Yeah.
because, yes, there are so many storylines, but I feel like they did, like, the storylines would continue in a very, like, natural way.
Yeah.
To when you would all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute, we haven't heard about this character in a while. And then bing, there they are again. And
There
you're like,
they
how'd
are.
they do that? They were in my mind.
or if their conclusion is ending, like for Ragnar's story, like Ragnar has an arc throughout with Canute and everything like that. They have a satisfying conclusion that you enjoy, or if characters get introduced, or if there's plot hooks, or there's stuff like that. Like the series does a good job of keeping you engaged throughout it. And it's just good. If you have time to watch 24 episodes, it's on Amazon Prime. I'd highly recommend it. So
I hope they're continuing that anime.
oh, please, for the love of God. Again, like I said, I might read. I talked to some people about it. It might have been because of COVID that it got
I wouldn't
delayed.
be surprised.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah. If it just seems like it's indefinite to where they'll have another season of the anime, I'll probably just end up reading the manga.
April 2021.
Oh, is that the current what they're looking at?
This was posted January 7th.
Oh.
On the Twitter account of the anime adaptation of Vinland Saga, it was announced today that a special project will be unveiled tomorrow to celebrate the last episode of the anime series aired a year ago. It's been It's been broadcast on Japanese television since July.
Of 2020 or 2019?
I think 2020 is. I don't.
It's not that.
Wait, what? On the bottom left of each artwork. So, okay, this is interesting. In September 2020, director Shuhei? Oh. Yabuta? I know that one. Tweeted out 3 drawings of some of the main Vinland Saga characters. He told his followers that there is a small Easter egg and asked everyone to figure it out. On the bottom left of each artwork, there were Nordic runes, and each symbol represents an English character sound. If you spell it out, the runes say "See Sun 2." There is also Japanese text that has the characters grumbling about being made to wait. So, something's on the way.
Yeah, so it might be a season 2 at some point.
But this is... I don't know where they got the April date from.
Some asshole on the internet
This
made up.
was April 2021 on... I don't know.
Somewhere, at some time.
Also, that website is called Anime Shakespeare, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, so they're working on it or whatever, but like, man, I don't know if I can wait. I need to know if my boy's gonna be okay. He's not gonna be okay, but just like I just hope he gets okay at some point. He's not just angry all the time.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're releasing it in mass. They're probably releasing it episode by episode.
Oh yeah. No, it's kind of like with Promise Neverland. It's not gonna be like it's not a Netflix thing or anything like that.
No.
We just expect it to be a Netflix thing, but you just give it all to me now. I'll binge it. I'll fucking do it.
I'll fucking do it.
I'll fucking do it again.
Also, this is one thing I want to say about this. I did not like the change in intro song.
Oh no, yeah.
I did not enjoy it. I love that first intro song.
No, yeah, the first
it's
intro
so good.
is very good. The second one, I like the opening with like the like it seems very like historical show where it's like to hear like the pipes and all that stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of.
Yeah, like it kind of grew on me. Granted, I was skipping the intro a lot because you can do that on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
But
I got it down to the point where I skipped through like the was it Whip? Is it Whip Studios or wherever?
I know that weird motorcycle intro
thing. Yeah, I'm like got to like it was like 18 seconds was like the exact mark. I'm like 18, perfect, cool, great, and then skip intro. Dude, the episodes where it was I skipped that and then I skipped the intro. Massive serotonin. I was just like, I'm just like, yeah, I did it. Just like cut through some chunk of time. Like, all right, powering through. Every second counts.
But yeah, like I liked the animation. I liked what you were physically watching with that, but I didn't really like that song.
Yeah, the first
one's so good.
Yeah, the first one you're just like, you're like, yeah,
it's so good.
Sink or swim, yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, yee. Oh, all right. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this review. Go watch it. It's a good show. I think. What's the next? I'm trying to think of what the next anime we're gonna watch is.
So that actually is something we have to talk about because next month, technically on our thingy, because we were in between two because we didn't know what was going to happen with Promise Neverland.
That's right.
So I had mentioned us doing Jujutsu Kaisen.
How many episodes is that?
12.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
I heard it's very good. So yes,
It is.
Oh, you've already watched it. Perfect.
I haven't watched all of it because I've been so focused on everything else. I think I'm like 5 episodes in.
Okay. All right.
So I'm probably going to rewatch the whole thing just so I'm fresh. But
cool. So that'll be our next. Okay. Cool. Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm perfectly okay with that because I don't know about fucking Promise Neverland's ever gonna do that shit. Yeah. All right. On that note, we're gonna leave you guys. Next episode will be on the Gazette, the J-Rock episode, and basically just be. That's your birthday episode, basically. Yeah.
That's the one that he couldn't say no to.
I could not say I can't.
You have no option. We're talking about the Gazette. Well, your birthday, you get to do the same thing.
I know exactly. Don't worry, you can get shit on Mastodon. We'll catch y'all on the next one, guys. I appreciate y'all. Bye.
Bye.